Dressed man in wrestling right here. Dusty Rhodes, the American Dream. It ain't no doubt. It ain't no doubt. Flair, bring that old cashmere coat out here. Gee, I love.
Can't help it that I'm custom made. I can't help it that I look good, smell good, can dance all night long.
Welcome to Midday Sports with Rod and Lynch crew. I got my special guest, always a special guest, and my co-host of Midday Sports, Chris Dietz. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing well. Ready to start another week and get through July so we can get this preseason started.
That's what I've been definitely waiting for the preseason, man. And we had that big news yesterday. Some people don't like to win. You know what I mean? Let's get into that real quick, man. How do you feel about D-Hop? Does D-Hop makes the Titans a playoff, contender, or to win the AFC South?
They already were.
Okay.
The Titans already were the best roster in the AFC South. Now, you could say what you want about the Jaguars, but you look at the Jaguars were flash in the pan last year, so we'll have to see if it continues. But when you have Derrick Henry, you're already better than most teams, especially in that division. And you add D-Hop to it. You saw what the Titans were when they had A.J. Brown.
Mm-hmm.
When they had A.J. Brown, they were a formidable offense because you had Derrick Henry running the ball. Say what you want about Ryan Tannehill. When you have a guy like D-Hop, it makes Ryan Tannehill look like a competent quarterback. So the Titans, I think, as I said, I think the Titans are the best team in that division.
By how much?
No, it's close. It's close with the Jaguars, and you got to give it up to the Jaguars. Jaguars won the division last year, so as our guy says, to be the man, you got to beat the man. So the Titans have to go out and beat the Jaguars. But I mean, I love all this. I love all this. People loving the Jaguar. The last time the Jaguars won the division, they went right back to being the Jaguars 2 years later. So I'm not putting my faith in the Jacksonville Jaguars to be a juggernaut in that division. So
I'm not saying that, but it's some questions I have for the QB1 and QB2 and QB3. That's the big question mark, right?
Well, that's why you bring in a guy like D-Hop. I mean, if you have questions at quarterback, well, you bring in a stud wide receiver. It'll ease some of those answers, and it'll erase some of those mistakes.
I feel you, Deets. I just, what I mean? We all know Tannehill, what he can do and what his limitations are, right?
Yeah.
But can Derrick Henry still carry that workload? That's the question. Do you think he still can be that bell cow?
Derrick Henry, yeah, absolutely. I mean that like I said, that offense is going to run through Derrick Henry, and when you have a guy like Derrick Henry, I mean, now look at how that offense is set up,
mm-hmm.
because that's one of the reasons probably why D-Hop went there is. What are you going to do if you're a defensive coordinator? Well, if you're going to commit 8 guys to the box, well, D-Hop's going one-on-one. D-Hop's going to beat most corners one-on-one. There's not many corners in this league who are going to one-on-one beat DeAndre Hopkins. It's just not gonna it's not gonna happen. So if you and you know what happens if they drop a safety to double cover, then you hand the ball to Derrick Henry, and Derrick Henry is gonna run the football. And Derrick Henry, there's not many guys who are going to tackle Derrick Henry one-on-one. Most times Derrick Henry's going to win that match. More times than not, Derrick Henry's going to win that matchup. So that's why you go there. That's why he went there. And that's why the Titans probably put on the best show out of anybody that was there. They said, "Look, you're gonna be the lead guy. You're gonna be the lead wide receiver, and you're gonna get your opportunities." So,
do you think that's a fair contract though in the wide receiver market right now? 2 years, 26 million. You think that's a fair contract? 2 years?
As long as D-Hop stays healthy, yeah. I think that's the market. I think that's the market value. I mean,
what's up, Jordan? Go ahead.
People love to put what happened last year on DeAndre Hopkins. DeAndre Hopkins was suspended last year for PEDs.
Mm-hmm.
And look what happened to the Arizona Cardinals. The Arizona Cardinals were a playoff team 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
They were in the playoffs. And then last year they were a complete disaster without him, without one guy. It took one guy. All they were missing was DeAndre Hopkins. And you saw what happened. And DeAndre Hopkins saw the writing on the wall. He saw the writing on the wall. They put all their eggs in Kyler Murray. They weren't going to spread that money. They weren't going to spread money around. So he did what DeAndre Hopkins does and got himself out of Dodge. Which, as long as you keep DeAndre Hopkins happy when he's on the field, he's an absolute menace. But the problem is he's also a menace in the locker room. And so as long as you have a strong locker room and, guys like Derrick, that locker room runs through Derrick Henry. So DeAndre's not going to go in there and start turmoil because he's not going to step to Derrick Henry. That's not going to happen.
Yeah, you know what I mean? We'll see how this plays out, man. You know what I mean? I wish him nothing but the best of luck with the Titans. I am a little salty though. I am a little salty. I was expecting them to throw that bag that heavy for D-Hop. I thought maybe we could get him for like 18 for like 2 years or something.
Yeah, well, I mean that's the other thing is we'll never know what the other teams offered. Now, did the Titans overpay a little bit? Probably overpaid a little bit. But for a talent like DeAndre Hopkins, when he's on and his head's in the game, there's few that are better. There's probably only two guys that are on that list with him.
I have a question then for you. Deets, is DeAndre Hopkins 1A or 1B to Andre Johnson in Houston history for receivers?
For Houston receivers, it's always going to be Andre Johnson in Houston.
Okay.
He's always going to. I mean, it's not even a 1A 1B situation. It's Andre Johnson's number one. Whether DeAndre Hopkins is number two or not, I'd have to really think about Houston. I mean, off the top of my head, DeAndre Hopkins is probably number two.
Okay.
As far as production value, when you talk talent wise, DeAndre Hopkins is probably the best wide receiver they've ever had. And there's nothing this guy can't do.
Okay. Man, let's get into which show. You had a good show yesterday, man. Let's talk about that, man. What was your name of your? Tell people what was the topic about it.
We did. So yesterday we did our Summer of Greatness. We continued our Summer of Greatness tour, and yesterday we did greatest sing along song, which is song that comes on the radio, song that comes on in the bar, song that comes on, and immediately you sing along. You sing the entire version of the song. So, so we did what we normally do in the Summer of Greatness. And for those of you that want to know about it, go to Fifth Down Sports. Go to the Fifth Down Sports channel. All of our Summer of Greatness is up there. We do it every Sunday. And we're doing so we did greatest song, and eventually spoiler alert, Journey won the tournament.
What song did it win with?
Don't Stop Believing.
Okay.
Now I told this story on the air, but when I used to sing karaoke. We used to go to karaoke every week. Every week we'd go to karaoke at the bowling alley. And I told my guy, I said, play this song.
What's up, Maurice?
If you put me last, I will get the entire bar singing this song. So he puts Journey on, and he starts playing, and I got the whole bar singing, and then I'm out in the bowling alley with the microphone, and the entire bowling alley stopped. And I had the entire bowling alley singing this, the entire bowling alley singing. So it's one of those things. But yeah, we had a fun time with it. We had 16 different songs that, and I mean, songs are always an interesting one because everybody's got their song. Everybody's got their song that they sing along to, whether it's a certain band or a certain group or a certain performer. Everybody's got their song. Everybody's got a different song. So it's like, I could make that list. I could make that list 65 if I wanted to.
It's definitely hard
but it takes me 2 hours to go through 16. If I was doing 65, I'd be there all day.
No, it'd probably be an 8-hour show.
Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely be an 8-hour show. But yes,
we had fun. We had fun with it, and we've got one of the I know this week we got one of the greatest topics that I've come up with is going to be this Sunday. This Sunday we're doing greatest play of all time. And so I'm going to put candidates in, and I'm going to try to put them in from each sport. I have best NBA defensive play, best NBA offensive play, best NFL offensive play, best NFL defensive play, best college football defensive play. So I'm going to try to put.
What's up, Coach?
I'm going to try to put all of that stuff. I'm going to try to put all of that stuff in. So if y'all want to be part of the selection process, go subscribe to Fit Down Sports, and we'll be on Sunday. Sunday, I'm looking to go early. I'm looking to go early afternoon because I want to go live from the bar for the greatest play in sports. So we'll be, like I said, we'll be doing that. And dude, greatest play is amazing. I know we're gonna talk baseball later. The reason I came up with this is I was thinking about the greatest play in baseball history, which, Rod, you're not gonna like this, but I know you're an Oriole fan, but look, I'm a Mets fan, but that doesn't mean I don't recognize greatness. And the greatest play of all time is Derek Jeter's flip. The flip by Derek Jeter against the Oakland A's.
I don't have no alcohol in my house. I'm on a detox, Deets, and you just disrespected me today.
And the reason why that play is so great is because, look, I grew up playing baseball, going to camps, learning how to play the game, watching the Tom Mamansky videos on how to play. There is no reason on God's green earth that Derek Jeter should be anywhere near that ball other than God put him there. Mm-hmm. I've had this argument with people at bars where people say, oh, Derek Jeter, it was such a fundamental play. And I said, there is no fundamental reason for Derek Jeter to be where he is other than he's Derek Jeter. And he was like, unless the only way you do that is you go, well, our right fielder's going to overthrow the first baseman. Because if the first baseman catches the ball like he's supposed to and throws it home, he hits Derek Jeter with the ball. There is no reason for him to be there. That's why it's the greatest play. And then to flip it behind your back to the catcher and get the guy out. It was there. Like I said, that play, you could do that 99 times and every single thing could go wrong. There are so many things that could go wrong, and everything just happened to go perfectly right. And that's why it's the greatest. That's why, to me, that was the greatest play.
That's great, man. I forgot what game that was, man.
That was the year of Moneyball.
Oh yeah, Moneyball.
That's why I've always said Moneyball is the worst is the worst sports movie because they just completely leave it out. That's how the Moneyball season ended. That's the Oakland A's. That was the Oakland A's in the wild card round.
Now about to be the Vegas A's, but that's another story.
Yeah,
that's another story. But man, I was talking about the game where Bo Jackson did that wall climb. Man, that was legendary. Was that not in the playoffs or something like that, or was it a regular season game?
It was a regular season game. He did that in
I forgot what game he was playing.
He did that in Kansas City, but
see somebody 6'3" or 6'2", 280 climb a wall like that. He was a freak, man. Do you think
Bo was a different cat. Bo was on a different level than everybody else.
Do you think if he was a full-time baseball player and just stayed with baseball, he'd been a Hall of Famer?
Absolutely, because he never would have got hurt.
I think so too, man. Either one. If he were just playing one sport, you know, it's one of the biggest what ifs. What if Bo just played football? Bo would have been, you know, how much of a toll did playing baseball in the offseason do? How much tax did that put on his body that it just, you know, his hip just gave out? That's always going to be the what if. What if Bo picked one sport? And we can always say baseball, you know, he never got injured playing baseball, but he got injured playing football. So we can say if he didn't play football, he wouldn't have got injured. He would have been around the whole time. And Bo was such a superior athlete to everybody else. It was insane what Bo Jackson could do. Bo was a problem, man. Bo was a problem, man. But I want to know your top rookies coming into the NFL's 2023 season. Who are your top 5 players to watch out for? You think are going to have extreme impact for their teams?
The guy. Well, I'll start the list. I'll start the list at top, and I don't have them in an order of 1 to 5.
You don't got to do order.
The initial guy that I'm thinking of, I love what the Saints have. I love what the Saints have going on. And my draft guy, A.T. Perry. I love where they're at. First off, you got a guy who's 6'5" on the outside. He's perfect for the Saints. Perfect for the Saints to just put on the outside and go over there. And then you have Michael you have Michael Thomas, who is,
I think he's gonna have a better year this year. I think he's gonna be
as long as he's healthy. The problem the last 2 years is he hasn't been healthy, and they've tried to rush him back. Now they don't have to rush him back. They can let Michael Thomas be Michael Thomas. So I think he'll be fine. But they also have who should have been the rookie of the year last year. I don't know how it went to. I don't know how it didn't go to Chris Olave. Chris Olave carried the Saints, and still didn't get the rookie of the year. I still don't know how that happened, but in my eyes, should have been the rookie of the year. So they have Chris Olave and Mike Thomas, and then you have this rookie guy, A.T. Perry. A.T. Perry should be able to eat, and down in the red zone, 6'5" is 6'5". You just throw him some jump balls, and he'll be okay. So I like him. I like him down in New Orleans, and I like what New Orleans can do. Derek Carr, for all of the Vegas Raiders' problems last year, Derek Carr wasn't their problem. The problem was they never turned the game over to Derek Carr.
And the best players on that defense are what? Crosby and Chandler Jones, man. They have no secondary help. How do you expect somebody to win some games with no secondary help at all?
The Raiders had no defense. The Raiders had the best offense. They had the best offense in the league, and they still couldn't win games because their defense was absolutely horrible. I mean, just look at that 49ers game where Jared Stidham put up like 500 yards. Well, yeah, the 49ers put up like 600 yards because the defense was trash.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I totally agree with you, man.
Well, like I said, I like what the Saints have, and if you look at that division, I mean, Tampa Bay, who knows what Tampa Bay is going to be with Baker Mayfield at quarterback. The Falcons are rolling with Desmond Ritter.
Are they?
Yeah, they're rolling with Desmond Ritter at quarterback.
I thought they was going Heineke. I thought maybe he was going to take Heineke, let Heineke eat.
I think it'll be a battle, but I think Desmond Ritter did enough last year.
I think so.
I think he did enough last year. I think it'll be a preseason battle, but it won't. I think Desmond Ritter will win that. But I mean, can you trust him, second year quarterback? Who knows? Who knows what you're going to get out of the Falcons? And Carolina is Carolina. They got a rookie quarterback. So if you look at the rosters, the Saints should be in the mix.
Hey, Deets, but do you think your boy, we talk about him, got the best name in the draft? Do you think he's going to eat this year, man? You know what I'm talking about, Notre Dame. Think he's going to eat this year with Adams and them boys right there? I think he should be able to have some crazy numbers.
Vegas did a great. I mean, you look at what Vegas did by drafting him. I mean, they replaced Darren Waller. They got rid of Darren Waller. Darren Waller was the afterthought. You look at him down in the red zone. He's unstoppable. You watch what Notre Dame did with him in the red zone. They were handing him the football inside the 5-yard line. They just handed him the football as a running back. So yeah, I think that's the perfect odds. The thing about Vegas, Vegas runs through what happens with Josh Jacobs. I mean, Josh Jacobs is still not reporting. It still hasn't reported. Does he hold and absolutely anybody who says Josh Jacobs should get in camp, they have no idea what they're talking about. Josh Jacobs should get paid. When you lead the league, the league in yards from scrimmage, and you're a running back, that is your time to say, I'm the best. I'm the best player on this team, and if y'all don't want to pay me, send me somewhere else because that's your time. That's your time to get paid. Now, most people don't want to overpay for a running back because they believe, oh, we can do it with anybody. But anybody, all these people, I've seen all these people saying, Josh Jacobs just get in camp. Saquon Barkley just get in camp. No, that's not how running back works anymore. Because every GM is thinking, well, we can just hand the ball to anybody. Anybody can be a running back, and you're going to see that that's not the case. So when you're a guy like Josh Jacobs, you need to get paid off what you did last year.
I think he definitely needs to get paid, man. But it's a couple players I see for the FCS level that are going to have great years. We can go with Aubrey Miller, man, with Miami. I think Miami was lacking. They got to still, get an unsigned free agent like him. He's a thumper. If you watch any of his tape, I don't know if you watch FCS too much, bro. He's a thumper.
Well, no, I know who you're talking about. The big question is going to be how that offense they don't spread the ball around.
Yeah, no, he's a linebacker. He's a linebacker, though. You gonna help that defense out. I think they was really weak in the linebacker position for Miami last year.
I mean, Mike McDonald's your head coach.
Yeah.
The defense is an afterthought. The defense is secondary there. They don't care. They don't care about defense down in Miami. But that you look at that team. They beat the Bills twice.
Yeah.
I mean, they beat the Bills twice last year, and once with Tua and once without Tua. So, and they were as close as you could get in the playoffs to beating the Buffalo Bills. So, I mean, everybody that thinks, oh,
Can we say this though about Josh Allen? People put him on like so much of a high regard, man. But every time he had a big game, he crumbles.
Josh Allen, show me the big game that Josh Allen's played in. All right, other than the first game last year, other than the opening game last year, and that doesn't really count. You're gearing up for that. You're gearing up for that first game for the entire offseason. You're thinking about playing that first game. So for the rest of the season, show me the big game where Josh Allen carried his team to a victory. It doesn't exist.
No, it doesn't exist. You can see why Stephon Diggs gets so frustrated.
Yeah.
Like, man, I thought I had an upgrade from Kirk Cousins, and you're doing dumb decisions. You want to be a fullback, then you want to throw it. Like, you have to just let the offense flow. Stop doing too much. We have a great defense on the other side. Let's live for another play. But no, he want to be a superhero all the time.
Well, Josh, I mean that's been Josh Allen. That's been Josh Allen since he's been Josh Allen. I mean, you can go back and watch his Wyoming tape. It's reasons why I said coming out of the draft I didn't believe in Josh Allen because I thought he would take too many chances. He has an arm that guys who have an arm like that think they can throw anything. Just ask Brett Favre. Okay, Brett Favre. Yes, he threw a whole lot of touchdowns, but he also threw the most interceptions of all time. Why? Because when you have that kind of arm, you say, I can fit this in when you can't. And for Josh Allen, he has got to be that. He's got to be Brett Favre. He's got to have some Brett Favre in him where, hey, you're gonna make some great plays. He's gonna make some bad plays. You got to shake the bad play and go back the next drive and make up for your mistake. and that's what you're getting. That's what you're getting when you get a guy like Josh Allen.
And you know what I mean? And that's why I have, you know what I mean, feeling about that, man. And I feel like they lost something major in that not re-signing Trayvon. What's his name? Edmonds, the linebacker Edmonds. What's his first name?
Tremaine
Edmonds. Like you have an aging Von Miller, but you should have re-signed that cornerstone of your defense. I think Edmonds is, to me, I think he's a great linebacker. What's your thoughts about that?
Yeah, I think he's a great linebacker too. And the funny thing about him is he played safety.
Man.
Played safety in college, and then
so he did the old Brian Urlacher.
Yeah, he played safety when he was in college, and then they moved him to outside linebacker because they realized he couldn't cover anybody. He moved him to outside linebacker, and he becomes a first-round draft pick. So, no, he's got immense ability, and he's still learning the linebacker position. So, no, Buffalo. The thing about Buffalo is you can't pay that's the thing about the NFL. You can't pay everybody. I mean, you paid the quarterback. You brought Stephon Diggs in. You paid Von Miller to come. You paid the other defensive end on the other side. So at some point, somebody's going to slip through the cracks. And all you do is you just hope you have a guy that can replace them. And Buffalo's got a system. They got a system, and we'll see. The proof will be in the pudding. But I don't blame them. It's just like I said, you can't pay everybody.
But how do you feel?
Choose your battles.
So what's going on with your Cowboys, man? With Pollard, man, what's going on? What you've been hearing about that situation, man?
Tony Pollard is Tony Pollard. I mean, he's not. The thing about the Cowboys is, and this is why I was looking at the Cowboys. The Cowboys in the draft, like why they didn't take a running back, like
they took Deuce. They thought Deuce is.
But they took a guy who can't. They took a guy who's the exact same player as Tony Pollard. You needed to replace Ezekiel Elliott, as in the guy who's going to run the ball between the guard and the center.
Mm-hmm.
Tony Pollard's not that guy. Tony Pollard is great at running outside the numbers, outside the hash marks. Tony Pollard's great at that. He's great in space. He's not the guy who's going to run the ball, 3rd and 2, and run the ball right behind the guard and fall forward for 2 yards. That's not his game. Why they didn't take a guy like a Tank Bigsby or a big bell cow running back who 3rd and 1, you can hand him the ball, and if he's met in the hole, 7 out of 10 times he's gonna win. He's gonna win that battle. None of the. Do I think Deuce Vaughn can win a battle with a linebacker 1-on-1? Absolutely not. He's gonna have to juke and get around him. He ain't gonna run him over.
Nah.
And the Cowboys need that guy who can run him over. But as far as Tony Pollard goes, we saw him. He can be your lead back. You just have to do different things with him.
It can't be a bell cow.
You need that. You always need that change of pace guy. You always need that change of pace. Like if Tony Pollard is your guy in space, you need that guy who can pound the rock when you have to, especially in that division, especially with what Philadelphia has up front. With what Philadelphia has at the defensive tackle position, you've got to have guys who you can pound on them, because you can't just let those defensive tackles go. I mean, they've already got the Hall of Famer in there, and then they've got Jordan Davis right behind him, a 325-pound monster, And then they drafted another defensive tackle this year. So Philadelphia's got beef up front. You've got to be able to wear them down. And you're not going to wear them down with Tony Pollard. Tony Pollard ain't going to wear him down. He's going to get hit by him and just drop.
And you know what I mean? He's coming off that injury, so you don't want to keep on. You can't just pound him. You know what I mean? You got to get him out of your fresh body.
He's not a guy you're going to feed the ball 32, 33 times a game. He's a guy you're going to hit him on the outside. You're going to hit him with some screen passes. That's what you got to do. But the Cowboys have to. And I've said Cowboys have to get back to being a team that runs the football 26, 28 times a game. You can't throw the ball 50. You can't have Dak dropping back 50 times. Cowboys are not going to win. If Dak throws 50 times, that means the Cowboys are losing that game.
And I'm really interested to see what that play call look like with Mike McCarthy. What does this look like? That's why I'm interested to see the preseason, to see what it looks like.
You think about how the Cowboys went last season. You think about how the Cowboys have progressed. They went from Kellen Moore being groomed as the next head coach somewhere to Kellen Moore being the reason why the Cowboys lost.
Yeah, I've never seen a dumb play like that in my life.
And I'm giving you both the extremes. None of those are true. None of those are true. It was always Kellen Moore was middle of the pack, offensive coordinator. That's what he was. He was always the middle of the pack. But at the beginning of the season, when the season started, everybody was talking about how Kellen Moore is being groomed for a head coaching position. Now he's the offensive coordinator in Chicago.
No, I thought he was with the Chargers
or San Diego. One of those. One of those two. I forget. But again, he went from being a coach in waiting to the Cowboys had to make him the scapegoat for what happened. So everything that happens from here on out, it's on Mike McCarthy. Mike McCarthy, there's no bullet here. There's no shield here. You're out there. Anything that happens is on Mike McCarthy. And as I've said, the blueprint is there. Run the football. Let Dak do his play action pass. Dak is probably the best play action passer in the league. But
I don't understand why y'all don't use him.
But if you're not running if you're not committed to running the football, nobody's going to believe that nobody's going to believe in your play. Nobody's going to believe your play action if you're not committed to running the football. So the Cowboys have to commit to running the football, and then work their passing game off of that. And if they can do that, the Cowboys have a dangerous team. The problem is they get into that mode of, all right, Dak's our quarterback and he can win us the game. No, he can't. I'm telling you right now, if he throws the ball 50 times, it means the Cowboys lost.
Wow. So, man, there's definitely a lot going on. Let's go get some NBA talk, man. The Suns just signed Bol Bol. I always like Bol Bol's game. I think when he's with Orlando Magic, I don't think they used him to set him up, in the right.
How many basketballs do the Suns think they're going to play with next year? There's only one basketball.
It's only one basketball.
There's only one basketball. You can't have Devin Booker, Bradley Beal, and Kevin Durant, and now you add in Bol Bol. How many ball? You only one guy, only one ball can go in the hoop. So somebody's gonna have to learn how to take a back seat.
But I think Bol Bol in the second unit would be good for them.
And everybody on that team has to know. And this is the problem I have with Kevin Durant is Kevin Durant is. He's never been that guy to step in and be like, this is my team. Everybody else is playing second fiddle to me.
He's not going to do that.
And he's never been that guy. He's never been that guy. I mean, everywhere he's gone. Oklahoma City, he was never that guy.
No.
Even though he was the best player on that team, it was still the ball went through Russell Westbrook and James Harden. And James Harden was coming off the bench.
And he was great at coming off the bench.
And the ball still went through James Harden before it went to Kevin Durant.
He was a great six man.
You go to the Golden State. You go to the Durant goes to Golden State. The ball went through Steph Curry, and it went to Kevin Durant. Even though Kevin Durant was the Finals MVP two years in a row, the ball still went through Steph Curry. The ball still went through Steph Curry. So then he goes to Brooklyn. The ball went through Kyrie. The ball never goes through Kevin Durant, and he's the most talented player in the league. So,
Dees, my question is for you. Who do you think is the number one right now? You think it's Devin Booker for the Suns?
No, it's Kevin Durant. It should be.
I know it should be Kevin Durant, but who do you think is really the number one? Booker?
Well, who's the number one? Number one option is Devin Booker.
I'm hearing Bradley Beal's going to be he's playing point next season.
Bradley Beal as a point guard. I'll see. I'll see. The time I see Bradley Beal pass up a shot, that'll be the first time I've ever seen that in my life. You can't play point guard. You can't play point guard when you're shooting all the time. I mean, it's the same problem. It's the same problem. Same problem Allen Iverson had. Allen Iverson never saw a shot he wanted to pass up, and Allen Iverson was one of the greatest point guards of all time. Don't get me wrong, but he never said there was never a shot that he was passing up, and Bradley Beal is going to be the same way. That's all I can say. That's all I can say about Bradley. If you put Bradley Beal at point guard, you're going to get a lot of one and done. One trip down the floor and one shot. That ball ain't going anywhere. It's not going to be passed around. It's not going to be passed around the horn. It's going to be Bradley Beal coming down, and Bradley Beal is going to take guys one-on-one. Same thing, the same way Damian Lillard plays. Damian Lillard's the same way. Damian Lillard will shoot 54-foot jump shots.
I like Dame though, man. I like Dame's game.
I still have this argument with a friend of mine. That shot Damian Lillard took over Paul George.
Over in the center. What was it, like half court almost?
It was like half court. He's standing there waiting for the clock to go down, and instead of driving the hoop, he takes a 54-foot jump shot. And it's like, okay, and I still have this argument of, oh, it was such a great play. I'm like, no, it was a great shot. It was a terrible play because you had all that time where you could have worked something. You could have gotten to the elbow. You didn't need to shoot from 54 feet away. You could have done something. Instead, he just stood there, and then he was like, "Oh, you're giving me this? I'll take the shot." And I was like, "He made it. It was a great shot.
Great shot.
But it was a terrible play. It was a terrible basketball play."
So, do you think Dame Dollar's situation is going to get situated before the beginning of the season with him getting traded?
They're talking about him going down to Miami.
How do you think that would fit? Like I'm okay if they can get rid of. They can get rid of.
He'd be. I think he'd be perfect. I think he would be perfect for Miami. And you got to remember, Miami's got Tyler Hero.
No, they got to trade him. That's what the trade would be for Hero, for Lillard, for some picks.
I would make that trade. I'd take Damian Lillard over Tyler Hero any day.
I think
if they can make that deal, if they can make that deal without putting Hero in, that Heat team would be that Heat team would who are you going to stop if you're stuck? Yeah, I mean, the ball's always going to go through Jimmy Butler, and Jimmy Butler is that team. Mm-hmm. So Damian Lillard ain't going to come in there and be like, all right, I'm taking over the team. No, that's not happening. Jimmy Butler runs that locker room. Everybody in that locker room is deathly afraid of Jimmy Butler and what he's going to do. If Jimmy Butler decides to go off, they know he's going to throw. They know he's going to throw fists at anybody, even his own teammates. So they want to keep him happy. So they're going to keep Jimmy Butler happy. But Bam is coming into his own. And if you have a competent point guard and you have another shooter on the floor, that floor is going to be stretched. And Butler can cook. And guess what? You go and you double him. Well, Damian Lillard's going to be wide open. Tyler Hero's going to be wide open. And any of the shooters that they have are going to be wide open. And you have two. You don't just have one basketball mind in that locker room. You have two of the greatest basketball minds in Spo and Pat Riley. They'll figure it out.
Yeah, I like Coach Spo, man. You know what I mean? But you know what I mean? It was just a tough. He ran into that hacksaw called Denver Nuggets, man. And
no, they didn't have any. I mean, you saw what happened. They didn't have anybody that could. Once the Joker got going, they didn't have any big that could stop him. There was nobody that could stop the Joker once he got going. But you know, Miami did take game. They did take game 2, and. I mean, anybody who thought the 8 seed was going to beat the best team in the best record in the league, Miami made it in as an 8 seed. Mm-hmm. That's what I love. That's what I love about analysis of the NBA Finals. It's like everybody forgets that Miami just barely made it into the playoffs, and then to do what they did was an almost historic feat. You know. To just get to the finals. Meanwhile, the Nuggets were tried, true, and consistent the entire year. And people want to act like, oh, Miami, you know, Miami's finals team. That's who they were. No, they an 8 seed made the finals. You need to understand. You need to understand that they were the underdog in every single series they played in. And they happen to, you know, you can't play that many games. Eventually, you're going to become what you are, and what they were is a play-in tournament team. That's what they were.
Indeed, I have a question though for you because you're a Celtics fan. You've been a lifelong Celtics fan for a long while.
Yeah.
What, 40 years.
Yeah, 40 years.
So. Do you think it's time for the Celtics to trade Jaylen Brown?
No.
And get the best you can get out of him?
No.
So you think they're going to pay for two? They're going to pay two supermaxes?
I love Jaylen Brown. You're talking as far as I'm concerned. That team needs to run through Jaylen Brown. That needs to be Jaylen Brown's team as much as good as as good as Tatum is, as good as Jason Tatum is, and as much of a marketed as much as a star as Jason Tatum has become, Jaylen Brown is the guy. He can do more than what Jason Tatum can do. Jason Tatum, you know. Yes, Jason Tatum can go off and have games where he can have 50 points. But Jason Tatum also can have games where he has 8 points and just completely fades out of the way. Jaylen Brown can do more than what Jason Tatum can do. Jaylen Brown can get to the basket. He can slash. He can drive the hoop. He can drive and kick. That team. When Jaylen Brown runs the team, the Celtics are a better team than when Jason Tatum is. When the ball's running through Jason Tatum, the Celtics are not as prolific of an offense. So to me, Jaylen Brown is the straw that stirs the drink. So I don't think if somebody came to me and said, "Hey, we're thinking about trading Jaylen Brown," I'd say we better be getting a big haul for him. We better be getting the best players, a lot of draft picks, a lot of unconditional picks where where we're getting lottery picks and not nothing like that. But I wouldn't trade. I love Jaylen Brown, so I wouldn't trade him. I'd find a way to get both those guys under contract.
Before we get into baseball talk and get out of here, what is your feelings about Hard Knocks and them letting it? Let the Jets are going to be featured in Hard Knocks this year. What is your thoughts about that?
I think it was the only. I think it was really the only logical. I mean, I really don't. It doesn't fit for Hard Knocks because Hard Knocks is supposed to be about training camp battle. It's supposed to be about the battle of training camp.
Mm-hmm.
What battle are you tuning in for? I mean, the only thing you're tuning in for is to see Aaron Rodgers. But Aaron Rodgers ain't battling anybody. It's Aaron Rodgers' team the minute he walks out of the locker room. And
nobody's taking Garrett Wilson's job. So where's the battle?
Nobody's taking anybody's job. Breece Hall's coming off. He had one of the best 6-game stretches. He was rookie of the year. Before he got injured in Denver. I mean, he doesn't get injured in Denver. He's probably winning offensive rookie of the year.
So where's the battles at?
There's no battles on the team. Quentin Williams just got a massive deal. Mm-hmm. So there's no battle on the defensive front. The defense runs through him. Sauce Gardner was defensive rookie of the year. The secondary runs through Sauce Gardner. So what's the intrigue for the Jets other than Aaron Rodgers? Aaron Rodgers is there. Okay. Like, other than that, there's nothing I want to see. Do I want to see do I want to see Robert Saleh? Do I want to see his coaching prowess? No, I don't care about Robert. Robert Saleh is a great coach, but he's not one of these guys. He's not a Sean McVay. Like, he is a defensive guru. So he's not going to be on the board. He's not going to be on the board teaching all this stuff. He's going to be teaching defense, which from a marketing standpoint, nobody cares. Oh, the only people that are going to care are diehard football guy who dissects that stuff. Nobody else is going to care. Everybody else is going to be bored out of their mind listening to Robert Saleh talk. So I don't see the intrigue in the Jet. I don't see the intrigue in the Jets. It doesn't make any sense for what Hard Knocks is supposed to be. Hard Knocks is supposed to be coaches and position battles. And there's none of that's in New York.
It's definitely none in New York.
Like, if any team were, if anything, they should be going to the other side. The Giants should be on Hard Knocks. Because the Giants just made the play. The Giants just made the playoffs. The Giants have Saquon they have the whole Saquon Barkley issue going on. How does that affect the locker room? What happens when he comes back? What happened? Daniel Jones. Yes, they've said that they paid him and yeah, it's his team, but there's still position battles in there. There's position battles at wide receiver in New York. There's position battles on the defensive side of the ball. There's a lot more intrigue on the Giants side than there is on the Jets side.
I agree with you, man. Let's get into some baseball real quick, Deets. Do you think the New York Yankees somehow make the playoffs? Figure a way to get on a streak and get in the playoffs this year?
Nothing is over. The Yankees. Look, if it's been a long time since we've said this about a Yankee team.
Mm-hmm.
And usually it's the other. Usually we're talking about, all right, the Yankees are going to outscore you.
Mm-hmm.
This season, if the Yankees give up 4 runs, it's over.
Yeah.
The Yankees give up 4 runs. They're not scoring. They're not scoring more than 4 runs. The Yankees, but I mean, baseball. I mean, they got. Can we just? I said this before on my show. Can we just cancel the AL Central? It just add another. The AL Central. I mean, you talk about the AL Central. The Los Angeles Angels are 3rd place in their division, and they have a better record than the Minnesota Twins, who lead the AL Central. It's a garbage. It's garbage that one of those teams is going to get in the playoffs. No team in the AL Central deserves to be in the playoffs.
Yeah, man, that's like the AFC South a little bit.
It's like the NFC West when the Seahawks won with a losing record. Like the teams are just garbage. But can the Yankees make it? Yeah, the Yankees can make. I mean, we have to remember there is that extra wild card spot. So, nothing. The Yankees have a guy in Garrett Cole who they can ride as a pitcher. They just have to they have to figure out their bullpen. What they need to do is get out of the notebook. Burn the notebook. Like Aaron Boone, burn the binder. Just burn it and go coach from your gut. Coach from your gut. Let your gut tell you what to do. Stop looking at the book. Stop going, oh, this guy's at 85 pitches. We need to get him out of there. No, if he's cruising, then let that guy pitch 7-8 innings and save the bullpen. That's what the Yankees need. The Yankees need somebody in there who can feel the game of baseball and play the game the way it's supposed to be played, and not just, all right, this guy's at 85 pitches. He's not going out there again. Like, no, that's you gotta throw it all at the wall right now. And you just gotta hope beyond hope that Aaron Judge comes back and he's Aaron Judge.
Hey man, did you expect the Braves to come out hot like this, man?
Oh yeah. I said it before the season. I thought the Braves were the best team in the National League. And they're proving that they're the best team in baseball right now. And Acuna is so good.
Mm-hmm.
So good. And I love watching him play. He's one of the guys that again, everybody talked about the All-Star game. Well, why he wasn't the feature in the All-Star game, I don't know. That's who you want to build. If you're baseball, those are the guys you want to build around. Yes, I understand you're going to draw people in by the legacy guys, but you want to be profiling guys like Acuna who are going to be there for the next 10 years. That's the guy. And what Ellie is doing in Cincinnati is unreal. Unreal. What Ellie De La Cruz is doing. That guy should have been in the All-Star game. He should have been. I don't care that he only played for a month. He's the most interesting player in baseball right now. And I talked to a lot of people who said, oh, he'll be there next year. Well, that's your problem, baseball. His time is right now. You want to strike while the iron's hot. You wait till next year. Next year, he's going to be. Oh, we know who this guy. We know who Ellie De La Cruz is. Nobody, most people haven't seen, unless you've been diehard watching baseball, most people don't know who Ella De La Cruz is. But the minute they see him, they're going to be intrigued by him. When you have the second half of the season and this guy's doing what he's doing, Cincinnati makes the playoffs, everybody's going to know his name. He's not going to be the draw that he would have been this year. You would have drawn eyes to the game. And that's what your All-Star game should be. Your All-Star game should be promotion of the league. And that's why he should have been there. They should have mandated that he was involved in the game.
I have a question though, Deets. What kind of payday you see Ohtani getting in the all season, man? What kind of payday you see him getting?
All of it. whatever he wants. First off, the Angels ain't gonna let him leave. The Angels and just understand this: the Angels have a 20-year, $3 billion television contract. They have $3 billion. They have more money than anybody. And there's a reason why Mike Trout could have gone anywhere. Mike Trout could have gone anywhere if he wanted to win. He didn't. Why? Because the Angels offered him more money than anybody else. Same thing's going to happen with Ohtani. If he wants to make the most money and be as close to, he is Japanese, he probably wants to stay on the West Coast. Nobody else on the West Coast has a bag like the Angels do. Now, if he wants to win, he's going to have to go somewhere else because that's just what the Angels do. Right? They sign the most talent, and every year they find a way to lose. That's just what the Angels do. So if he wants to go somewhere and win, he's going to have to go somewhere else. And he's probably going to have to come somewhere in the Midwest, somewhere on the East Coast. And I don't think he wants to do that. I think he wants to stay out West.
Man, he's just must-see TV, man. It sucks that he couldn't come straight from Japan and, you know what I mean? He had to do that time all in Japan, with their contract situation. But he is must-see TV.
Well, I mean that's how Japanese baseball works. Once you sign a contract, you're not getting out of it. Nah. And you see what he's doing. That they were smart. I mean, Japan didn't want to lose. Japan didn't want to lose him because they knew how much of a draw. They knew how much of a draw he was. That people were coming to the stadium to watch Ohtani. So, and now that he's in the majors, every time he plays, it's whether he's swinging the bat or whether he's pitching, he's must watch. He's a must watch guy. So that's why I say any team that signs him, he'll be the first $500 million contract. That would be easy.
And before we get out of here, man, I had before I canceled it and all this news came out, man. If you had to choose, man, you have you had to start your franchise with a strong safety. Either you can get Darren Woodson or John Lynch. Who are you taking?
John Lynch.
You taking John Lynch?
Yeah. And you're talking to a Cowboys fan. I watched Darren Woodson play his entire career. I love Darren Woodson. Okay, John Lynch was look at the defense he was on. Warren Sapp, Derek Brooks. Mm-hmm. Okay, right. And who was the leader of that defense? John Lynch. That defense. He was the leader of that defense. Then he goes to Denver, and they start everywhere he went. They just started winning. So he's a John Lynch. John Lynch was a different guy. He wasn't the fastest guy. He wasn't the biggest guy, but he was the best cover guy that you could have, and He wasn't the biggest guy, but he could put the biggest hit on you. Because he knew how to play. He knew how to play football. I'd take John Lynch. John Lynch is up there on safeties. I mean, and you talk about strong safeties. He's probably in the top 3 all time. I mean, with him and Ronnie Lott.
Okay, and today, before we get out of here, before I let these, you tell her what's going on with this podcast this week, I got a trivia question.
Okay.
For the viewers. Which NFL team had the most wins in the 70s? You put your answer in the comments, and to let me know what the answer is. I'm going to tell you right if you're right or wrong, and that's the trivia question for the day. Deets, what you have going on this week? What you got going on?
Going on this week, we got Sundays. We got the Summer of Greatness. Summer of Greatness, as I said before, greatest play of all time. So we're going to be talking about the greatest plays from each and every game. We're going to have greatest goal from hockey, greatest save in hockey. We're going to be talking baseball, greatest home run, greatest hit that wasn't a home run. Greatest fielding, greatest play in the field. We're going to be talking greatest. We just talked about defense with John Lynch. Greatest NFL defensive play of all time. Mm-hmm. And I guarantee you, if you tune in, I'm not going to give it away here, but if you tune in and listen for our greatest defensive plays, both NFL and college, I guarantee you'll be blown away by what we pick.
Okay, and go check that out at Fifth Down Sports on YouTube. Deets, where else you at? You had audio too?
I have. We also are on. We're also on Blog Talk Radio. We have our station KJC Radio. We're also on Spotify under Fifth Down Sports, and we're also on Google Play. If you have one of those Google situations, you just say, "Hey Google, play Fifth Down Sports." Our show will come up.
Okay. So. And this has been another day of Midday Sports with Rod. Make sure you subscribe to me, share, like. Also check my TikTok out. I got a TikTok. You can check me on Instagram at RodPod21. And also go check out Fifth Down Sports. Let's get his numbers up, man. I think these content is better than 27 subscribers. This would be frank. Yeah. What you're giving out. You know what I mean? I'm just being real.
Yeah. Well, I got so much going on behind the scenes right now that once I start promoting, we'll start doing it. But like I said, I got like a million things going on behind the scenes. So
you get ready for wedding too, right?
Real life comes first. Real life comes first, and that's what we're focusing on right now. And then NFL season will start, and we'll get things going once NFL and college start.
Yeah, that's just right around the corner. But make sure you hit that like and that share and subscribe to.
I thank you for your words. I don't do this stuff for the subscribers. To be honest with you, everybody that subscribes is fantastic, but I do this for fun and to talk sports and to have my when people ask me at the bar, what's your opinion on this? I'm like, go check it out. I'm on the record. Mm-hmm. So people can't say, oh, you didn't say, like when I said Miami Denver NBA Finals, when I said that last September, and everybody said, oh, you're just saying that now because it's the playoffs, and I was like, here. And I played him the clip, and I was like, "Yeah, this was in the preseason when I said this, not last week." So that's why I do this. That's why I have fun with this, and that's why it's a good time.
Yeah, man. Make sure you go and subscribe to Fifth Down Sports. I know you about to break down some terrible movies that came out. the best movie right now, people are saying, is Barbie in the box office. So
I have no doubt. I have no doubt in my mind. Barbie's going to do. We talked about it before. So Barbie's going to do Super Mario numbers. That's what it's going to be. I mean, Barbie is the Super Mario for the female. Anybody that has daughters is taking their kids to go to Barbie movie. Like that. That's happening.
And now, why did Transformers go straight to digital so quick?
Because the movie was trash.
Wow.
The movie was trash. Because they took a Transformers movie and tried to make it a race. They tried to make it a race baiting. They got in. They basically played every trope of 2023 politics. They tried to put all of that in, and nobody wants that in a Transformers movie.
Nah.
Everybody they want to see. They don't want to see. They don't want to see that. They want to see robots fighting each other. That's all you have to do in a Transformers movie is robots fighting, and you'll make $1 billion. And they couldn't figure that out.
But all right, man. I know Diesel will come get back on his cinema breakdown soon, man. So
absolutely, definitely going to get back on that. And Mission Impossible is killing it right now. Mission Impossible is
real good.
I can't. I can't.
How long is he one of the greatest? Can we say he had one of the greatest reigns for action stars? Can we say that about
Tom Cruise? Tom Cruise is the only action star we have right now. There's not a single. And I was watching somebody do this the other day.
You need to do a bracket for action star. That would be awesome for you to break.
Yeah, that's definitely one that we could definitely fill out. But as far as action stars right now, there's not a single movie star right now. Like there are. Everybody is going to the movies to see character. Like you look at what we just talked about, Barbie. They're not going because of the girl who's playing Barbie. And I don't know, Harley Quinn, whatever, whoever she, Margot Robbie. They're not going to see that movie because Margot Robbie's in it. They're going to see it because it's Barbie. Everybody's going to the movies to see a character that they like. Mm-hmm. It's not that people are going to Mission Impossible because they want to see Tom Cruise. Because it's a Tom Cruise movie. That's why they're going. They're not going to see. I don't even know Tom Cruise's name in the. They're not going to see the character. They're going to see it because it's Tom Cruise and they know he's a star. That's why he's a star. That's why he's a star, and everybody else is just an actor. They're just playing a role. Tom Cruise is a star. He can carry a movie, and that's why Tom Cruise will have 3 of the top 5 grossing movies of last year. Tom Cruise is going to be in 2 of them because that's how good he is.
And I agree with you, man. But this has been another day of Midday Sports. Make sure you hit that like, share, subscribe, and also answer that trivia question, man. I'm interested to see if somebody can solve it. Somebody solved the last one. The way in that comments and said it's the Rams. I'm like, oh my God, somebody really knows sports trivia. So you know what I mean? Check that out. Also, this Friday, I have also a big announcement. I have joined the Sports Empire Network as a sports analyst. I'm going to be on a show with Coach Dante and a couple other guys. It's called Above the Rim. You know what I mean? We're going to talk about the NBA offseason. Come check me out on Friday, I think at 9 p.m. Eastern. So, you know what I mean? Check me out on that. And this has been another episode of Midday Sports. Make sure you also go over here to Fifth Down Sports and check out what we got dope going on over there. And hopefully everybody have a good day, and we're out.
All right. Later. Stupid.